Israelites are saying is the dad. I hear you. So through their text, it's like they're reading both sides. Because yeah, the Ashkenazim say it's the mum. Is that right? If your mum's a Jew, you're a Jew. And the Hebrew Israelites are reading in the Bible. See, it's your father. That's right. You get me? So
What's the difference? Giving all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakha, Kwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. Shalom Labachia, peace unto the elect. Now, what was the difference there, man? But the Hebrew Israelites say, and he's a Hebrew Israelite as well, he just doesn't accept it. Most likely from the tribe of Benjamin. But anyway, so he said, the Ashkenazim say it's from the mother, but the Hebrew Israelites, he literally said it. He literally said they read out the Bible, it's from the father. And then he went, that's right. So yeah, man, it's gone out, it's going out, it's continued to go out. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me because it's a stiff-necked people. And that's it. See, the Hebrew Israelites say it, so you hear it, but you're not listening. Or you're listening, but you're not hearing it. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. The so-called Jamaican, the land of their captivity, well, ultimately, yeah, it was Jamaica. Then you had the Windrush scandal and everything coming out with that. And really it was after Esau bombed Esau in Esau World 2, the second world, after they needed to build up Europe. Yeah, they got a whole heap of Jake. So then Jake flooded into there, and then what? We're in captive. We're in a land of their captivity, or our captivity. So Numbers. Is it Numbers? No. Exodus. Forgive me if it's not this. Salahia. Stiff neck. There it is. 32 and 9. 32 and 9. Exodus 32 and 9. And Yahawah said unto Mashah, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. And it is a stiff-necked people. But even Jake there, he acknowledged, well, what's the difference? He said the Ashkenazim say it's the mother. And he wasn't even saying it in the emphasis I'm placing upon it now. He was just saying it as a matter of fact. They say it is, but the Israelites, they go in the Bible and they read it, man. And we're meant to seek out the book, that book. He doesn't need a mate. Right, Isaiah 34, it already has a mate ultimately. Isaiah 34 and 16, seek ye out the book of Yahawah and read. No one of these shall fail. What was it talking about there? The prophecies. No one of these shall fail. No one of these prophecies shall fail. None shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. What's that one? It's out Daniel 12. I said it's gone out, man. It has gone out. Right. This is Daniel 12 and 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Halalyam. We have that Psalm 19. Psalm 19 and 1. The heavens declare the glory of Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork. And what did he just say? That it was shine as the brightness. Salakia. About this kitten. Alright, Psalm 19 and 2. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night sheweth knowledge. And again, well, where is it, man? Where is the day that goes past where none of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi goes out by the way of this internet, right, which ultimately was set up by the Lord through the advances, the tech, for the purpose of this, that the gospel may go out among the whole four corners, the whole four winds. Matthew 24 and 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Right, So it has been preached. It's continuing to be preached. And when you check the views, for example, on a YouTube video, or whatever, you got people in Japan, the Philippines, US, Russia, Germany, wherever. It's all going out. And Lord willing, it's securing and sealing those elect that were preordained before the foundation of the world to hear this truth, understand it, and accept it, and conform themselves into the image of Yahawashi. So you know what, we'll get the scriptures. There are a couple of the scriptures just to touch on the topic. But really, when I saw it, I was just like, see, it's everywhere, man. I was just watching something for entertainment or whatever. It was an interesting topic because it was a Somali guy. So he'd be a Cushite, and he actually broke down the whole concept of where these this Kemet and the Kemites and the Hamites, and he basically went into it that it's Ham, like Kham, Ham, and that is where you get the term Kemet. So he's not wrong. And it was listening to two, or one's a Jake from the continent of Africa, so it's more of a ancient culture or practices and customs he's been brought up in. But then you just got that Jake there from, he said his parents were Jamaican and English. So he's in the carnival culture or black culture, the culture of darkness, black, void of light, which doesn't have an understanding of ethnicity or any common custom and practice other than dance hall music and partying and stuff like that. But yeah, you had the Jake that was from Africa, and he was sort of getting it. He was saying, no, he's saying it's a lineage thing, but then they're both trying to push like a Western one. Nah, that's a patriarchal way with the father. Anyway, so like Genesis 1 and 11, and halalyam said, because when you go into this, sometimes you see the English word God. I was speaking to a brother today, and I was saying, not every time you see God, it means the Most High Yahawah. It can go into halalyam, and it was referring to halalyam. Even when you see into Genesis 1 and 26, it said, and just to read it verbatim, and God said, let us make man in our image, and there's a comma, it goes on. Not to get into that, but the us is a plural, it's halalyam. Lord willing, we'll touch on that in another segment, or another day. So Genesis 1 and 11, and halalyam said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. So you just get that to prove that the tree, or obviously trees can be referred to as men, or I should rather say men can be referred to as trees, but the seed has always got a masculine context. When you go into it in Hebrew, it's zerai, and when you go into it in the Greek, the word for seed is sperma, and that's where you get the term sperm. Now, someone said, like, you're the seed of David. If they said you're the sperma of David, there's no doubt about that, whether it's talking about a man or a woman. But as things become, they change over time, and that's why the elders and apostles stress and emphasize etymology so much to us, because that's important. Etymology meaning truly the words of truth. Etymos in the Greek, logos in the Greek, etymos meaning truth, logos meaning word, like you have biology, bios, logos, the word of life, all of that logia. Yeah, in one sense you can say it's study of, but really it just means logos. Like to be logical means to go with the word. So anyway, I'm waffling, nerds. Forgive me. So let's go with the word, let's be logical. Ezra 2 and 59, and these were they which went up from Tel Melah, Tel Harsa, Cherub, Adan, and Imer, but they could not shew their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Israel. Like he said, the Hebrews, they read it out of the Bible. You have the Ashkenazi, they be saying this. The Israelites, they read it out of the Bible. Yeah, Nehemiah 7 and 61. And these were they which went up from went up also from Talmelah, Talharesha, Herub, Adon, and Imer, but they could not shew their father's house or their seed, whether they were of Israel. And it talks about, 64. These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but it was not found. Therefore were they, as polluted, put from the priesthood. So because they couldn't find their seed, their father's house, and even going back into just some simple things, like, well, who are the Israelites? The 12 tribes. They're all descendants of the man, the patriarch, Jacob. There's not a thing of a matrilineal descent. You're not going to find that. You will find it among, as the brother said, certain groups of that may call themselves Judean or going back to that lineage there, but then they'll say it, and maybe it's according to a different book, but not according to Tanakh, which is going into Torah, the prophets and the writings, effectively. Now, have I got anything more on that? Maybe we'll get one more. The seed. This is Proverbs chapter 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And that's going into Jacob. Stand with the elect. Just one more, because we're going into that time. The MOTB, man, the mark. Stay girded about with truth, girded with this fire, this oil, this wine, this milk, this meat. Jeremiah 13:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Is even the time of Yaquab's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Again, he, going back, starting with the elect. Right, so I pray that was edifying. On to the next one, Lord willing. All praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakha, Kodash. Shalom.